Hi guys, it's been a while since I made a video on the bus. I quit working on the mini house for right now, and I decided I wanted to go back to the bus and start working on it since I built that little mini wood stove. I want to get that installed here, and I want to change a few things. Today I'm taking out the Murphy bed. I've already cut the bolts off of it, took the mattress off, cut the bolts off of it on the hinges, and I got it kind of wiggled out of there. It was a really tight fit because I built this thing in sections. I started with one wall, put a hinge on it, put the end of the bed. Then I went down, I put the hinges on the other end of the bed. Then I put it on the wall again, and I bolted them all through one end. So there was no undoing it without cutting it. So I ended up cutting all the bolts off of it, and I kind of force wedged it all down through there trying to get it out, and it finally fell to the floor. So I've got it here, and I'll show you what I've got going on. All right, everybody. This is the bed. It's been knocked loose from its hinges. I had to cut them off with a cutoff wheel over here. A cutoff wheel right there. I had to cut off the heads right here so I could get it loose from the hinges here. These are swivel hinges for boat seats is what they are. I had to do the same on this side. I cut them off, and because the bolts were too long and I couldn't slide them backwards, and you can see by the wood here, see this bolt? I barely had enough room to get it off. I had to drag it through to get it off. And it kind of made a mess on the other side of the board here, on the outside of this. But here it is laying here. Took a little prying and pushing and pulling, and I finally got it to drop out of its position. So this little Murphy bed here is going to end up going into the mini house, and the little stove is going to go right here. I'm going to build a new cabinetry over here. It'll be a countertop similar to what I have over here. A little extra work area over here, and the stove's going to be here, and this upper shelf here, I'm going to remove this half over here where this microwave is. It's going to be moved over to here, and this is going to be cut right here, 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 and in half. Then a new wall is going to be inserted right here, so that from here over it's going to be new counter, and from here over all this is going to be removed, and the stove is going to be sitting here, and the exhaust pipe is going to be coming up through the ceiling over here. So yeah, I went ahead and built a little toolkit for the wood stove, the little potbelly wood stove I built. I did that in a previous video just before this one, so if you want to see what that looks like, you can check that out. And I'm going to upload that to my bus videos and not the mini house videos. I quit working on the mini house right now. I just not into doing it. I wanted to get back into working on the bus. I had the most fun in here, and yeah, this bed's going to have to go out that back window right there. I've already taken the mattress out the back window, but that pops open. It's an emergency window, and this bed will go right out the back window. And I'm going to start building the cabinets in here first, and I'll take you guys along if you want to watch. All right, I got it out of here. All that's left is this big hole where it was. I got to do a little tightening up on some wiring here. There's my shower lines right there. I also got the hinges out of there, see? They came out fairly easy. There's where the other one was right there. Those 4 holes. All right, this is what I put in the place of the Murphy bed. Right here I built a 12-inch high support, and it's made out of 1.25 inches. And this board here is made out of 1.25 inches. And I really didn't want to go that thick, but I was looking at this, and I have to span, I think 43 inches there, and I have to span 35 inches this way over the wheel well. And there's the heater down there, see? I didn't want to take that heater out. So basically this is going to be the base for the cabinet. I'll store firewood in this area. The heater will be here. I'll probably put another separator right here. Then this end here can either be for more firewood or a suitcase or sliding something under it. I'm not sure, but it will be more good storage. And Under this end down here, I built another, right here, I built another 12 inch high support, and I did one out of that on that other end down there, right in here, and it's 3/4 inch, and that's made out of some old maple plywood that I had. And I'm trying to do this without going over to Home Depot and spending a bunch of money. I had this piece of 1.25 inch here in the shop, and it's rather heavy, and I really contemplated not putting it in the bus, but I decided I'd go ahead and use it since I already had it. Besides that, the stove, if I tile this or do something like that, I'm going to want something really heavy supportive under it. And this is basically subfloor underlayment. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I have an old gun cabinet outside, and I'm going to cut the drawers out of it, the drawer slide area out of it, and I'm going to build me a set of drawers right here, then maybe a closet right here, and I'm going to put a little hanging closet right here. So this should be somewhere around 11 to 15 inch hanging closet. I haven't quite figured it out yet. And right here it's going to have a wall coming up to this right here, and I'm going to release these and move them over, both of these supports, so it lines with the wall. And because I'm going to be building new face frames around all this, so it looks like this here. I'll have to go buy some face frame material, some birch face frame material. Scratched my cabinetry there, see? But anyway, then the stove will be from that line right there. Over here will be the stove compartment. I'm not sure exactly how wide I'm going to make the hole. I may make little sides to it, you know, so it has a little shelving around it. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of building this as I go. I kind of did a rough idea what I wanted, and you know, like everything else, it can change at any time according to what my materials are, or what my whim is at the moment, or my second thoughts. But I'll take you outside and show you the gun cabinet. Okay, here's the old broken gun cabinet, and I'm not going to use this top half of it here. I'm going to pull the doors off and save them. But that was the section I was really interested in down here. Cut it. See the bottom of the or the top of the drawer box? I'm going to cut it right across there. I'm going to cut it across the back and down this side right here. And I'm just going to take that square box area right down here where the drawers are and take it back there and use it as an assembly. It'll save me a lot of build time, and I really don't think it looks that bad. I will probably be giving it a good sand job and taking those handles off and replacing them with the style that's in my bus. And you can see it's about 14.5 inches deep. So I'll have a little space behind it, but I have plumbing and wiring back there anyway, and I would like the ventilation. I may be able to take that extra few inches and build something into the top of the cabinet, so I have a little hatch back there. I could store stuff behind it. I don't know. It's good to use all the space you can in the bus. So. But anyway, this is what I'm going to get after. I'm going to get this cut up first, get these doors off and get it cut up, and we'll go from there. Okay, got the doors off, drawers out, and I got the top half laying on its face there, sawed it off, and here's the drawer section right here. I'm going to take that back and fit it in the bus. I'll see you there. Okay guys, I think I kind of figured out what the plan's going to be here now, finally. I've changed some ideas here, so bear with me, okay? Let me show you what I've got going on. Okay, so what I ended up with is a closet on this end. The stove is going to be in the middle, and I've got some stovepipe here. I'm going to paint black, and it's going to go through a hole here, then out through the ceiling, out through the roof. And I put the drawer system over here. And I've used almost all of that gun cabinet. I've used the 1/2 inch back wall it has. I used the 2 3/4 inch side walls, glued them together, and made that board right there. That's why it's all pre-finished. And I got a face frame around that closet there. That's a 16-inch closet. So I'll have a little bit of room for hanging and, you know, setting things on the floor right there. And that under there is just going to be more storage area down there. And this is all going to receive a face frame here pretty soon. I've put in some L brackets, I guess you could call them. Put them up here too. Right there. Hold this wall in real nice and tight. Makes it removable too. I made some more over here too. I'll be using these doing the assembly. I just took some L channel aluminum and cut it into 3-inch long pieces and drilled some holes in it so it'll hold the walls and stuff in here. I've got to put a backboard on here. And I also found some tiles, and they're kind of a, I don't know, they're kind of the color of this wood in here almost, this wood right here. They're 18-inch tiles, and I think I have, let me see. I've got 29.5 inches about. So I have 4 tiles, and there's plenty of room to go ahead and tile in this bottom here. I also found some scrap tile board. That really tough fireproof tile board. And I got to lay some of that down there first. Then I'm going to go ahead and tile them in just on the bottom here. I think I'm going to put some metal around in here like this, as high as the stove, to protect everything. And I've got some little round spacers. They're about, oh, that long. And they're little heavy-duty spacers that came off some seat belts. And I'm going to use those. I have a whole box of them, so I can space it out from the wall, space the metal out from the wall. And I think that should be pretty good. It'll all be triple wall. It's going to have a short section at the top of the stove. Then from there, up through here and out is going to all be triple wall with my exhaust pipe in the middle of it. So I'm using some gas B vent, and I think it's probably going to be okay. I'm going to put it in there, test it all out really good, and I'm not using the B vent only. I'm using it with my 2.5-inch pipe inside of it. So I wouldn't use just plain old B vent on a wood stove. I mean, that's just you can put it on some of the pellet stoves, but you can't put it on a wood stove. You got to have that steel pipe. And I'm going to make sure I get it tested. I'm going to get me a thermometer. I'm going to test this pipe after it's in, and I'm going to run it for a while. I want to make sure I'm absolutely safe. So there's the bottom half of the gun cabinet, and I refinished the drawers and I put new handles on it. So it works good. There's no rollers on it or anything, but it works smooth and it's nice and square, so I think it'll be fine. I think that'd probably be a good spot to store clothing. And because I've got right behind me here, in that cabinet right here, I got a big can rack and stuff in there for, you know, storing cans and goods and stuff. And I've got all these shelves up here too. Yeah, this is a good spot for clothing, I think. And yeah, so next I'm going to get this hooked down. I've shimmed and leveled this board here. It was about an eighth inch low on both sides, so I cut some popsicle stick type material and I stuck under there. Then I screwed down some 2.5-inch screws down into the board. So now it's nice and level. Everything sits square and straight with the windows. And oh, another good thing about this is the back of the gun cabinet had a really nice piece of plywood on it. I'm going to cut that for the countertop in here. The only thing I'm really going to have to buy for this whole project is some trim wood for the fascia. You know, this birch fascia wood. I'm going to have to get a few. I think I figured it out to be 12 feet. I'm going to need 12 feet of that. So I've still got my access window there, my escape window. That'll still work. It'll still open. And I'm really excited that I did that. I really didn't want to move that window. And I got to thinking about the stove being right here so close to the bedding. I don't know, better judgment told me to put it over here. And another thing about being here, look. You'll be right in front of that seat, so you can load it sitting there or enjoy it. And God, I'm shaking right now, and I don't know why. I usually don't shake. Maybe I got too much coffee in me. But anyway, this is what we're doing now, and I'm going to get on this a little bit longer here, and I'll bring you back and show you what I've got going on. Well, I got that all screwed in there, and this board here, it's got its brackets on it, see? And the one for the closet here, I got junk in here because I see they're in there. This junk's in here because I had to clear the bed off because the wind blew the power out, and we're gonna have another really bad night tonight, so we're expecting 65-mile-an-hour gusts. I hope it doesn't blow the power out again, but you know the nice thing about having this bus, I just turn on the old inverter right there, and I'm ready to go to sleep because I need it for my CPAP machine. I got it up here. But anyway, yeah, I had to sleep in here, so I had to clean all this out. I test fitted the stove and got it in there. I cut the holes up here too, and in the ceiling. So that's the 6th big hole I've cut into this bus. Yeah. So, since I test fitted the stove and I test fitted all the pipe, I know what I needed, and I got everything cut, and I've got it painted black, and that's going to go in next after I get this tile in here. And as you can see there, I put some hardy board down. That's a cement tile board, backer board they would call it, and I cut my all my pieces that are going to go in there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this Acrylic Pro, just tile adhesive is what it is. I'm going to get that put down, and I'm going to lay this tile down in here, and I put it on with this these backer on screws here. I had the ones that were I usually used right here. They're called rock on but they work the same, but they were 1 5/8 inch long, and I had about close to 1/4 inch sticking out the bottom, and I didn't want to hang up my hands or anything, or hang up anything sliding underneath that, even though the heater's just there. But there is this little spot here, and there's a little bit of the other storage area right here, so I didn't want those screws to go through. So next I'm going to be putting on this this adhesive. I'm going to stick these tiles down, and I'm not going to be doing any grout or anything. These are just to stick the tiles down, and that's it. Then I'm going to put some more of this backer board on the wall back to here where I've got that board, and here on this side, and I'm going to put spacers between it and space it out from the wall here, here, and here. Then I'm going to put metal in here to reflect the heat back out and to protect the wood. So after that, we're going to do a test fire, and I'll wait till probably after I test fire it to put all the trim on it. Then I'll start putting all this trim. I went over to Home Depot and looked at their birch trim, and my God, it's went up. When I first did this bus, it was like half the price it is now, and it's really went up. And that's one of the reasons I've been using salvage wood in here for this. I went over and looked at birch plywood, and I was just shocked. I do have a piece of plywood just like this for right in here. I'm going to put this top in here. I'll take all this stuff back out and put a top in here. And so next thing I'm going to do is get this tile in. I'll bring you back. Well guys, I got it in there. I just glued it in. I'm not going to grout the seams. I want something in there that's fireproof and good solid place to put my stove. So that's all I needed. and make it look a little better. So that's in. It took about 10 minutes. No big deal. Bought a little can. It just didn't hardly leave anything left. Should be fine. So next, the stove goes in. Well guys, I bolted the stove in today. You can see I've got some black bolts right down there, right next to that square. Got a bolt and a washer going through it. Yeah, got the little stove bolted in, and I put a metal rail around the top of this, and behind that rail I have some nice backer board here. Then I put some tile. This is going to need some type of cap. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do here yet, but I was trying to find some metal to put behind it, and I was over at Home Depot, and they had these $24.99 signs. They're like autumn signs for like Thanksgiving time. They don't actually say anything about Thanksgiving, but they have things about pumpkins and pumpkin spice, you know. But there was 2 with the truck and 2 of them with the pumpkin on the front of it. And I went ahead and just bought those because they were selling them for $6 a piece. And they're pretty heavy metal. I just had to unscrew the metal posts that were on the back of them where they set into your yard. I had to unscrew that, and they've got a little wire surround around them, like a little frame on the inside, so they're real sturdy, and they're all metal, and I'm hoping they'll hold up to the heat. I think they will, because this little stove doesn't get that hot. And so I just set them up onto the backer board, and they weren't quite big enough, so I took some of the tile and I went around the edges. See, on this one I've got to still glue it on the back there, and this side, and up this side right here. And I pretty much should be done with this area here, other than putting some type of trim on the outside here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do there yet. And I put the pipe in. The black pipe's in there, see? I had some black rings I was going to put in here, and they're right here, but I couldn't seem to get them around the pipe. I test fitted them before I painted them, but I tried to get them on the pipe and slide all this together at one unit. It was just too much. It wasn't going to go on there. So I've got 3 of these. I'm going to have to split them in half and put them on in halves here. And I've got the pipe screwed into the roof, so there's 3 brackets up there that are holding it into place. And I had to move it over to this side a little bit to make sure everything lined up the best it could. And you know, with the inside pipe to the, you know, the 2.5 inside pipe in here, I had to make sure it was lined up in the double wall, because I don't want it leaning up against one side. So there may be some fine tuning to do there. And what else did I do? Oh, I cut this top. I'll have to take this stuff off later. And I had an old pair of barbecue tongs, old metal ones. So I painted them black. And that way I can reach into the stove, move the wood around without burning myself. I thought it was a good idea. This is not my original idea. I saw this on YouTube, and I can't remember who to give it credit for, but it was such a good idea when I watched them doing it that I knew I had this old set of half rusty old tongs, and I needed to use them for something, so I cleaned them up real good and painted them black. I think that'll work great for that. And also, we got to test this out too. I bought a fan for it, only about 20 bucks. It works off of the heat of the stove, so when the stove gets hot, makes the fan spin. Yeah, we'll see if that works. Help keep the air movement around in here. But I'm going to do a test fire as soon as I'm done putting this on and letting it dry. the tiles. And I've also got a boot up here, the silicone boot to go on the outside up here. And that's supposed to be showing up today, and it hasn't made it yet. And it's getting later in the afternoon, and hopefully I can get it on there today. But we're going to be firing up this thing before the end of this video. I'm going to take it outside, fire it up, and we'll see how it does. Well, I finally got the seal right here for the top here, the silicone boot. And I just want to show you what I have going on here. See, I have the B-vent pipe, which is double wall. And then I have this pipe, exhaust pipe, 2.5 inch inside diameter exhaust pipe inside that. So basically it's triple wall. And I took this cap here and I cut it. I cut a 2.5 inch hole in it. And it's just a metal cap, see? And I don't know if you can see down in there, but that's how the pipe is sitting inside the B-vent. So I'm ready to give this thing a test fire, I believe. So get this back on here. So I put this on here to keep any debris from falling down between the main pipe and the B-vent. I don't want any debris getting in there. So I've got this thing all siliconed on there. Self-tapping screws. I didn't do a wonderful job, but I got it down. I think it's going to be watertight. And let's go inside and we'll see what we've got going on with the stove. I've already got it loaded, but I don't have it lit. And I think we'll go ahead and light up a load of kindling first, then go ahead and put blocks in there after I test the temperatures a little bit. So I've got the stove here. I've got a temperature sensor right there for the pipe. I can put that on the stove also, but I did buy one of these Ames electronic temperature sensors. Right now the temperature is 50 degrees on the stove. I don't know why it's so warm. Maybe it's in the sun there. It's like 47 degrees in here right now. At least that's what my thermometer says. Oh no, it's bumped up to 50. Cool. Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get a test fire going here, and I'll bring you back as soon as I get this thing going and we start getting a little bit of heat out of this, and we're going to test how hot these back panels are. I want to test this wood right here to see, and this pipe to see how hot this is getting. And I'm going to do a kindling fire first, then I will do like a heavier duty block fire, you know, like 2x4 blocks. And that's the inside of that area where I put the silicone cap on. So let me get this fired up and we'll go ahead and check it out. Okay guys, I've got it up to temperature. That's showing that it's about 450, and it hasn't smoked around the door, and it smells real good in here. Everything seems to be working just fine. Let's see what this temperature is on this pipe at the top. 135. Let's check the fiberglass here. Fiberglass is about 89 degrees. And the outside of the fiberglass here is 87. Okay, and down here where it goes through, 142 right here, and the plywood's 80, 82, 84 degrees, somewhere around there. Let's check it here on the pipe. And it's 148. And I'll check the plywood here. And that plywood is about 84 degrees. All right. Check this pipe here. 149 right there. Top of the stove. .332. Front of the stove. Yeah, about 328. And what about the metal panels in the back? They're 139 on their surface. What about over here? $127 on the sides. Check out this tile. $125 on the tile. And the floor. Jeez, the floor is still cool. 102 up front here. Let's go check the base of the stove. 122 on the base of the stove. $132 on this side. Now let's check the plywood wall, see what it's doing. $82 degrees. This side is 83 degrees. Okay. I don't think we're having any problems here. This wall is actually cool on the backside still. Let me check this one over here. Yeah, it's still cool. This pipe isn't giving off that much heat. So, I've got blocks in it right now. And it's doing pretty good. It doesn't have a full load in it, but it's got 3 great big blocks in it, plus all the kindling. Let me see what it's doing. I told myself I wouldn't open it while it's burning because it smokes. Oh, we're losing it here. We're losing the fire. I'm going to pop this open a little right down here. Give it a little air. See if we can get this thing going again. I can see the temperature's dropping over here. It was at 450. I hear it going now. I bought some fireproof material for going around up here. It's some type of silica cloth made to go up to 2300 Fahrenheit. And I think that will be good to pack around that up there. And I also will pack it around each one of these pipes here. And I'm going to pack it around here before I put the black trim rings on it right here. I'm going to pack them full of that material so it'll protect the edge of this wood. So there'll be no long-term drying it out or charring it or, you know, future problems. So, man, this thing is kicking off some heat. It's a little over 50 degrees outside right now and I'm sweating in here. It is really warm. It's going to heat this bus really nice. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off right now and tend my fire. And in case you guys were wondering, I've got a giant fire extinguisher right there from inside the shop. It's all charged up and ready to go. Plus I got a couple jugs of water over here. And I have a great big 5-gallon bucket of water outside of rainwater I could use if I run into any type of trouble with this. So far so good. I'm kind of happy with it. And I'm going to get this thing packed in with that fireproof material as soon as it shows up. And I'm going to test it out one more time. Okay guys, I've got a full load of blocks in here. And we're pushing 600 degrees on the stove. I've got the little fan running. That's one of those little heat sink fans. I just stuck it up there and it's just started turning, so that works. And the main place I was concerned with was up here by this fiberglass. And we're running about 138 degrees up there. So I think we're okay. If anybody has any comments on this, I'd love to hear them. 148 on the pipe there, and as we get closer down to the stove, we are having 156 right there. Let's see what the top of the stove is. $536 degrees, and let's see what the front is. 600 and no, bounced around right about 600. Back wall, 170. That's a concern there for me. Even though it's got some type of backer board behind it, that's still a concern to me. I don't like this metal up on top here. Let's see what that's doing. Can't read it. $157 on that. Read this metal right here. 96. So the sides don't seem to be having the problem. The back is real hot. Whoops. Sorry for the finger, guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, let me get up close to that. Oh, that ain't right. Let this thing clear for a minute, and we'll try it again. Should clear. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Ooh. Yeah, it's getting real warm back there. Man. Oh yeah, behind this stove is real warm. Jeez. I think I'm going to make me a half round shield to put on the back of this stove, just to make sure that I don't have any problems with that. Everything else seems to be working out. Yeah, I think a shield for the back of this stove. That'll be my next thing. I'm going to go ahead and let this thing go out. And I'm glad I did this. Lets me know where my problems are. And okay, so I took the barrel. I cut the top and the bottom off. And I took all the paint off of it, and the edges I smoothed them out with some 36 grit, and it's not quite ready yet. I'm going to end up painting this. There's some stove paint out there made by DeRusto that's silver instead of black, and I was thinking about painting the outside of this all black and just paint the reflective part in here silver. See if I could kick a little more of this heat out. And here's a little stove, and the part I was really concerned with is right back here. It just seemed to get warmer than out here on the sides. It was pretty warm back in that corner, and I just want a little extra protection for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it behind the stove and see how this works out. So, I was thinking something like that, just to protect that back wall. I could even bump it up like that. That would probably work okay too. I'm sorry for the lighting here. As you can see, it's dark outside. See, I'm just kind of working around here late, trying to figure out stuff. And yeah, I can See how I welded tabs on the bottom of the stove? I'm going to weld some tabs on these corners and sit this thing in here, probably somewhere like that. And this elevates the back of the shield up above the back wall, probably by about 4 inches. It'll help protect any heat coming off of this part of the single wall pipe from the window. And the rest of this is triple wall. It's got the excuse me, 2.5-inch exhaust pipe and a gas B vent, which is a 2-walled pipe, which I painted black. So there's the exhaust pipe inside, the B vent, double wall on the outside. And I've got it going up through here and here and out through the top on with a silicone boot. And I've got some special silicone type 1-inch thick matte material that I have ordered up, and it's supposed to be good up to 2600 degrees and flame proof. And I'm going to wrap that through here and fill all this edge in here to make sure I don't get any heat up against this fiberglass. And I'm also going to do it around these here too. And I'm going to cap these off with some black finish rings, I guess you would call them. I'm going to go around this. I'll probably have to split them in half to get them on here. And I'll be doing that on both sides, through here too, and on the underside here. Now, I was worried about this underside under here. This area right, where's my feet? There we go. This area right up under here. But it really didn't get all that hot. If it becomes a problem later, I'm going to have to put some sheet metal up there and space it out from the edge. These walls here did not get hot either because this pipe doesn't get that hot. And I'm hoping this will direct more of the heat outward here and away from that back wall. And I was going to tell you guys about the closet. I decided to go ahead and use that gun cabinet door, the same gun cabinet I got the drawers from. That top piece there, this wall right here, I took that out of the gun cabinet, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let me get this on here the right way. I might not be able to show you one-handed, but I'm going to end up with this gun cabinet door in here like this. And there's some glass in the other door that didn't get broken, so I can take it and cut it to size. And I'm going to put a closet rod in there, and that's going to be the closet. I think that'll be kind of nice. Trying to do this without spending a bunch more money. I spent so much money on all this fur back when I did this bus in 2018 and 2019. And yeah, but it's out of sight now. I went over and looked at it, and it's getting to the point of being whatever. Attainable. That's what I'm going to say. Unattainable. So, well, at least I'm not going to pay that much for it. But anyway, I'm going to get this thing welded up, get the tabs put on it so I can bolt it down, and go from there. I'm going to see how this works out. Then we'll do another test fire and see if that works. The material I've got for the fireproof material should be showing up here in another 3 or 4 days. So it's kind of late because, you know, Christmas and all the rest of that stuff. So I did want to show you about the wood I got here for doing the fascias on this cabinet, and let's like this here, and doing the you know, the uprights here, edging. Since the birch, not fir, I meant birch when I was speaking earlier, when the birch got so expensive, I found this stuff here. It's only 1/2 inch, and it's they're called craft boards, but they're all oak. And the oak is a very similar color to what I have here, especially when it's finished. I'll show you some I've got over here. This is some oak that I made the plate rack out of here. Made it out of some scrap oak out of an old TV cabinet. And so it has a similar tone, see? So that's what I'm going to have to use on this instead of the birch, because the darn birch got too damn expensive. So I've got, I bought 5 boards at $6.10 a piece. So I invested a little over 30 bucks in there. So, but it's a lot better than buying the birch. The birch was ridiculous. It was $2 something a foot, and it was just too much money. So here I am, and I'll get some of this stuff put together, and I'll bring you guys back, show you what I've done. All right, everybody, I welded the little tabs on the bottom of this heat shield so I can bolt it to the floor. I'm hoping just that'll hold it. I won't have to put any upper supports, but if I have to, I will. So I've cleaned it up. There's the inside of the heat shield right there. It's all been sanded. I've drilled some holes at the bottom there to allow cool air in, so the hot air will go up and out the top or out the front. I just thought that'd be a good idea to keep the bottom a little bit cooler down here. And I sprayed the upper edge a little bit with some black and the lower edge that you can't see from the underside. And now I'm going to end up spraying the whole outside of this with black. And on the inside here, I mentioned that Woodstove makes a silver. And it's a stove paint just like this other Woodstove I'm using. And it's flat silver. It's made for wood stoves, high heat. I'm going to put that on the inside. Hopefully that will reflect a little more of the heat out than the black, because the black kind of absorbs it. But it's just like this. It's high heat for barbecues, wood stoves, that type of thing. So it should work. I'm going to get this thing painted up and I'll be back with you. Okay guys, I've put this fireproof material. It's good up to 2600 degrees in direct fire. I packed this around the holes around the pipe here, around my triple wall B vent. Well, it's double wall B vent with a 2.5 inch pipe in the middle of it, an exhaust pipe, and that's what my chimney pipe is, a 2.5 inch exhaust pipe. But anyway, I bought this material on Amazon. I can leave a link in here if you guys want to know what it is. And it's made for kilns, and it's, like I said, it'll hold up to 2600 degrees of direct flame. And I cut this section out of the pipe on the shelf next down here, right here. Yeah, this was on the back side of this, so I kind of evened out the hole where it's got a nice wide hole going around it here, see? And I put double layers of this around that because it was a little thicker than the 1 inch material that I'd bought. So I packed them both together, then shoved them down in there. And on the underside of this, where the stove is, I went ahead and put a finish plate up there to hold this all in place. And I will cap this too right here. And just like I did above it, see? I'll have to repaint a lot of this stuff because it looks like it's got a little scratched up from doing this, because I had to split these right here. I had to split them. That's why there's 2 screws right here and here, just to get them over the pipe. I tried to slide them on before, but it wouldn't work. There was just too many of them and there was too much resistance. And I packed it around where it goes through the fiberglass roof too. Now I cut these about that wide, so there's plenty of room sticking out of the top here, and I double layered it and I packed it in really tight up here. So this pipe has got 3 brackets up there that are holding it, stainless steel brackets, L brackets, and screwed down into the fiberglass. So it's not going to go anywhere. We got this thing all set in nice and tight. Before I go and put the rest of these rings on here, I've got 2 more in the shop over there. I got to cut them. I got to put the slice in them and paint them black. But I need more screws, and I need to test fire this and put the temperature probe up here, run a full fire on it one more time just to make sure. I want to make sure that this spot right here on the plywood doesn't collect enough heat to you know, cause a scorch later on or anything like that. I think if I could keep it around less than 200 degrees, I think I'm going to be all right. So that's what my plan is anyway. In the same way with up there, I don't want the fiberglass to get hot. Now, fiberglass in itself doesn't burn that easily. The temperature rating on that's quite a bit higher, and but what this has is a corrugated liner, 1-inch liner in between the inside fiberglass and the outside fiberglass, and that's the part I'm concerned about. I don't want that to get hot. So I don't even know how to look that stuff up to find out what its heat rating is. But and guys, you know, this is my doing. Don't copy me. Do your own research. I don't want to be responsible if you guys have a problem. I'm just doing this for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get this outside fired up one more time, collect up some more screws so I can finish this when I'm done, because I'm pretty sure I'm okay here. And we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got the stove going right now. Let's get right on top of it. It says it's 560 degrees, and the shield here is 350, about a little more. And the back wall, which I was concerned about, is 142 degrees. Now that's good. I can live with that. It's a side wall here. 185, 179. $164. I'll get behind the shield here a little further. 156 there. So out here by the tile, it's going to get kind of warm. Yeah, almost 200 degrees here. Stovepipe is about 260 degrees. And my packing material, let's put the dot right on the packing material. The packing material is 97 degrees. And the wood is 90 degrees. I can live with that. That's not bad. You get that hot on a hot summer day. Okay. 86 here. This pipe up here is 244 degrees. The packing material is I think I'm picking up the pipe there. Let's try the roof here. $104, $107. It's not that hot. No, I can touch it. Yeah, it's picking up the pipe temperature there. Yeah, it's picking up the pipe temperature. But this wood here, get close to it. It's 85.8. The next level up, 79. $97. Man, this stove is hot. 540 some odd degrees here. This shield here is pushing the heat out forward, and I noticed that it's really I'm sitting this far back from it and it's barely comfortable. I've really got it stoked right now. I think I've had the most wood in it I've ever put in there. And I'll close the damper here. That's hot. Whew. I think I have success here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these metal plates back on, like that one. I'm going to put one up there and finish this thing all off. I think we're going to be in good shape. I think I've successfully put a wood stove in the bus. This makes me happy. And this is creating so much heat. Oh my God. It's about 50 degrees out this morning, and this thing's running me out of here. I got to get out, and I've got the vent open up here. I got the windows open over here, over here. I should open the back window, I guess. I got this side window open over here, and the door is open, so there's airflow going all through here. Looks like all I've got left to do here is put all my trim on, mount my closet door and my closet pole, and anchor down that countertop there where the microwave is, and we're gonna have to go from there. So I think we got it. Well guys, I went ahead and ran 2 full loads through it, and it's a little while later now, and it's all burning down now. It's still running about close to 500 degrees, but it's got very little wood left in it. It's just radiating heat mostly. Just a little bit of stuff at the bottom. You can see it glowing in the back side of that door. But so next I'm going to go ahead and put all the trim on and build my closet and get that put together. That'll be a different video, and I think I'm done here. So I really appreciate you guys coming along, and we'll go ahead and see you on the next one. Yeah, it sure got warm in here. Well, thanks for coming along, and really appreciate it. Hit a subscribe button if you like, and I'll start making a little more of these. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.